right, good morning, guys, gals. Ted from Pewview Farms here. Sunday morning, just probably a little bit before noonish hours, I would believe. And we're up here at my mother-in-law's. Told you guys we're coming up here. I had to help her do a couple things in her kitchen that she remodeled. And we are going to be picking up that Super A cub that we talked about. I just wanted to show you guys that she's out here. She also does some grazing and some free fertilizer on her pastures. I see they've got the cows out here in their cornfield and the I don't know, probably rye we'll call it. So but yeah, we're going to be hooking up the Super A to the Dodge and the flatbed trailer. It's down below in the storage shed, so we're just up here going to get her pulled up by the tractor and see what we can do. Okay guys, we're here in the barn. We're just my father-in-law just had to move out the one tractor in the way, and we're going to try squeezing that Super A right through here, even though there is a door there in front, but that big disc bind is kind of in the way a little bit, and in order to get out that door we have to move the disc bind. So we're going to try squeezing it through this little area and come through this door. And then I got the trailer up top by the other barn, just more flatter, more surface to work with. So far that's what we're doing with that. I think we're going to pull this with the Kubota RTV, it sounds like. I hear it coming down. Okay. Here we go.
Yeah, you're fine over there.
That's good right there. Now it's working. That's the sickle mower. She's up and loaded on the trailer, and we're putting up the sickle mower right now. And then we'll get her chained up and see how she looks. Alright guys, gals, as you guys can see, we got everything loaded up on the sickle mower and the tractor's loaded up on the trailer. But we're looking for just a couple oddball parts and pieces that for that tractor, I guess, that are around. And guys, these are old vintage barns, probably 1800s, early 1900s. And I am just absolutely amazed at some of the antiques that I have been finding today. I'm actually going to come up here one of these days and do a whole video. There are 3 old barns that she has still that have some really, really old stuff. First thing you see when you walk up the stairs here is an old vintage hand drill press, and in well working condition. This used to be, whoever used to own this farm, she was kind of telling me the story. This used to be their workshop. It was a wood shop. This gentleman built a church, and this was kind of his workshop. If I'm not mistaken, we just saw this, and I think this is an old smoker. There are racks in there. That thing's got to be old. That's all I got to say. I'm trying to see what else that really caught my eye. I mean, there was a couple other things. I mean, there's some old furniture that's still up here. You know, here's his old workbench. You can tell. You know, he's got all kinds of old chisel bits and stuff like that. I think stuff for the drill press. You can tell this is old. And then over here, looks like he probably at one time kept his supplies and stuff. There's just, you know, old boxes. I haven't really, you know, gone through a lot of that stuff to see. But, you know, I guess if you really started to dig through here, you know, there is some really, really old stuff. There's a lot of old pulleys laying around. Obviously, those are a little bit newer vintage. But, you know, there's some old belt pulleys laying around in here. My mother-in-law uses this just kind of as storage for the farm, for stuff that they need. And, you know, that right there looks like an old corn seeder. Maybe. I believe that's what it is. But this smoker really, really piques my curiosity. She said I could have it. My wife said no. We'll work on her and see how that goes. But I'm believing that that's a smoker. It's got old wooden racks and stuff in it. And it has ventilation tubes from up top. You know, there's some old wooden barrels. I'm sure that those weren't built yesterday. And, you know, I'm going to actually probably head back up to the R barn really, really quick before I leave this place today. And show you, oh, here's something else. I'm not sure what this is. Not really sure. We'll go around the other side. But pretty neat. I mean, everything's kind of just stayed intact. You know, they haven't really. B&D. I bet you that was made in America, guys. Yep, Black & Decker. It is. I'll be honest, it's got to be a press. I'm not really sure. It looks like a press. I could be wrong. Huh. But yeah, there's some really old stuff up around here. And I think this summer I'm going to spend a little bit of time up here one day and just kind of go through stuff and show you guys stuff. Because we found some really neat old antiques today. Okay, guys and gals, we are back here at my mother-in-law's house. This is their actual house, basically where they live. They don't live on the farm. They just rent that house out. This is also the old main house that my mother-in-law's husband's family basically lived forever and ever. This house is well over 100 years old. I'm pretty sure it has a 1800 sticker date on it, as well as this barn. But as you can see, the outside has been refinished and stuff like that. But in here, basically, we got part of the plow and disc and stuff like that that goes with the tractor. There is also an international front blade for this that is back there. But I'm going to have to get some reinforcements here to do that. Because that thing looks heavy, and I'm pretty sure it is heavy. So we're going to deal with that sometime this summer. Like I said, we ain't going to be needing it anytime soon. Like I said, this tractor is going to be a work in progress. Going to be restored, guys. All right. But as we're digging through a lot of this stuff today, all right, we found this. Where do you see barn boards that are over 2 foot wide? And that is black walnut. You don't. And it is all 24 foot long. It's got to be. I am absolutely amazed. There is some, you know, here, this barn here is packed with antiques too. There's an old wooden barrel. I guess it has sideboards. Got the old steel wheel. You can see all the old hitchums for horses, you know. It's right here, just another building, prime example. It is loaded with antiques. You know, nothing's been touched. You know, they're not getting rid of anything. everything's been undercovered, stored, so you know it's the stuff's not really in bad shape. I mean, look at all the old. I don't know a whole lot about old horse-drawn equipment and stuff like that, but yeah, like I said, this summer I'm really excited. You know, just kind of come up here and kind of be really nosy through stuff and see what's here. You know, I'm not looking for anything. Just show you guys what kind of old antiques are out there. And these couple barns that they have are loaded, absolutely loaded with all kinds of stuff. But from a carpenter's perspective, I've heard of boards that wide. I have personally never seen one that wide. And there's not trees really like that anymore, especially black walnut. I mean, come on. That produce boards that wide and that long. And I can guarantee that there is probably a ton more boards laying around like that. You know, just, I don't know. It just really hits at home when you think about it. It just, there is a huge piece of history right there, you know. So I want to really show you guys that board. This camera is not going to be doing justice at all on that board, but that is honestly, if I put a tape on it, is over 24 inches wide. I believe it is a full 1.5 inches thick, and it is, by looking at it, over 24 foot long in black walnut. So pretty impressive, guys. So, but yeah, we are, the only thing that we're not going to be taking home for the A is the back blade back there right now. So, but she's on the truck, loaded. We got the sickle mower back there secured. There is some parts missing, I guess. There's supposed to be a pulley shaft that goes on to that PTO, but that's missing. There was a flood here years ago, she said, and the barn that a lot of this stuff was in got washed away in the flood, part of it. So there's a really good chance that it got washed away. So, but they're back. They got some other stuff that we're going to throw in here, so I'm going to shut this video and get that done.